at each point in time in this interval multiplied by the effectiveness of the missiles in killing people. So the rate at which country B fires is beta, so that this is how the number of missiles arrive in country A from B. It starts at that level that we determined before, and then it evolves according to this exponential decay function. So this means that by substituting this expression here in the casualties, we have this integral here. And again, it is easy to look for the primitive function. Here it's again an exponential. And then we compute the value of the integral by substituting the upper and the lower bound of the integral in the primitive function. So and this gives us then the number of casualties that have been produced in country A at the end of the retaliation stage. Is equal to this number of missiles of B at the beginning of the stage times the effectiveness of those missiles times this, which depends on the firing rate and the length of the interval. So of course this we know from the first stage. So you see that if we are attacking, then of course the more destructive was our first strike, then the smaller will be the number of missiles of country B at the beginning of the retaliation, and then the smaller the number of casualties that we suffer. Right? So, and now comes the nice thing that if we substitute what we've learned from the first stage, then we arrive at an expression for the number of casualties that we suffer by launching a first strike that is a relatively simple linear function of both our initial endowment of missiles and our enemy's endowment of missiles. So, so the number of casualties, of course, is smaller the larger our nuclear arsenal to begin with, because this means that we have destroyed more missiles of the enemy, and the number of casualties increases with the nuclear arsenal of the enemy, because given the destruction that we could achieve, the larger it was, the more they remained. So, now what about conceiving of the possibility of a first strike? So, first strike, in order to weaken, maybe defeat the enemy, so will entail some